Welcome back to America Decides. A Fox News poll of pretty recent vintage finds a majority of voters disapprove of Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency's efforts to dramatically and rapidly reduce the size of the federal workforce. Here are the numbers. 58% disapprove, 40% approve. Colorado Republican Congressman Jeff Hurd joins me now. Congressman, good to see you. How do you interpret that poll data?
Major, it's great to see you. I think the important thing from my perspective is I think most people in my district support the idea of government efficiency. It's something I certainly support. Talk to the people that work in the federal bureaucracy. They will tell you there are cuts to be made. The key thing is that we make them in the right spots. And so one of the concerns I've heard from my constituents and from people that are in my district is that we're maybe cutting the people that are on the ground. We should be focused more on the middle layer, the kind of bureaucrats in Washington, D.C., and making sure that we make those cuts in the right spot.
Western slope of Colorado is your district. Forest Service, Bureau of Land Management employees, both in your district. Are they afraid? Are they being hurt already?
We have seen a number of cuts in our district. We have 6 national forests in Colorado. My district covers not just Western Colorado, but Southern Colorado as well. Some of the cuts that we're seeing are kind of at the lower level, the people that are on the ground, the boots on the ground, that are doing the work, maintaining our trails, managing the forest, protecting our watersheds. And I think it's important that folks recognize that there are efficiencies to be made, but we just need to make them in the right spot. It's not the people that are on the ground. It's the bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. that we need to be cutting.
So do you have any hope, Congressman, of reversing this trend? Because if the boots aren't on the ground late spring and summer, that's going to materially affect the ability of those parks to function and the tourist dollars that come with it.
Certainly, it's something that's of concern to us, particularly with fire season coming. We've had kind of a dry winter here in Colorado. It's something we're always keeping our eyes on here in the West. I'm optimistic that we'll be able to see some of those individuals come back, some of those probationary employees rehired, once we recognize how critically important they are, and we're talking with the administration, making sure that we have the right people in the right places. I'm cautiously optimistic that we can get that done before too long.
And you have legislation for probationary employees brought back into the federal workforce, do you not?
That's right, Major. It's a bipartisan bill that's been introduced in the House to make sure that individuals who've been separated from employment, if they come back, they do not lose their probationary status. They essentially get to be right where they were before they left federal government service. And it's something that we want to make sure it's common sense that when people come back, that they don't lose their place in line.
It is bipartisan, as you mentioned, Congressman, but the vast majority of co-signers are Democrats. Do you have any hope? Have you got any signals from the Republican leadership that that bill will be given a serious hearing and might make it to the floor?
Well, I think yes, there certainly are more Democrats than Republicans, but I think leadership recognizes, the administration recognizes the importance of protecting the employees that are actually getting work done. Yes, we need to cut the bureaucracy. Yes, we need to get those bureaucrats out of Washington, D.C. But when we make those cuts, we need to do them in the right spot. And when we rehire those employees, I'm confident that the administration, that Republican leadership will see the importance of protecting those employees who are actually getting the work done and delivering the services that we here in Colorado and across the West need and rely on.
Congressman, you've talked a little bit about Ukraine and Vladimir Putin and Russia. Give me your evaluation of the last 2 weeks in Trump White House conversations to obtain first a limited ceasefire and then possibly something approximating a full-blown deal.
Well, certainly I support peace in Ukraine, but I would say that it's important that we stand against Russia. It's something that I take very seriously, and we need to make sure that we're supporting our Ukrainian allies against the Russian autocracy, and it's something that I've been clear on for sure, and certainly in my communications with my constituents, with those that are concerned and reaching out to me, I'm saying that we need to stand against Putin and against the totalitarian autocracy that is Russia.
Do you wish President Trump used some of the words you just used to describe either Putin or the Russian government?
Well, I think the president certainly has a style, and I'm optimistic that we're going to get to a place where we do have a peace that is effective. My perspective is I'm going to speak my mind, and I know the president has a role that he's working through. And, I'm not afraid to say my position and be clear about it. But ultimately, this will be something that's going to be decided much higher than here in the 3rd Congressional District of Colorado.
One thing that's also on your mind is preservation of the Biden-era clean energy tax credits. To what degree do you think the Trump administration will be supportive of that?
Well, I think we need to take a scalpel when it comes to the Inflation Reduction Act. A lot of the Green New Deal stuff, we got to get rid of it. It's terrible. Subsidies, those sorts of things, they're not good. They don't move the economy forward. They're not good for hardworking Americans who are struggling to pay their electric bills, their gas bills, fill up their gasoline in their cars, keep grocery prices low. But there are certain thoughtful tax credits that I think will advance our economy, will advance the president's goal of energy dominance. Renewables do have a role in that, and I speak as somebody that has a district that has quite a bit of carbon-based, natural gas, oil. Absolutely supportive of that, uranium as well, nuclear. But renewables do have a role, and so preserving some of those tax credits strategically, I think, is the right thing to do.
Do you think the administration will do that?
I'm confident that they will. There's certainly some Republicans in Congress that recognize the importance of that, me and a number of my other colleagues. And I think that the administration recognizes that if we're really, truly going to advance President Trump's goal of energy dominance, that renewables should be an important part of that mix.
Republican Colorado Congressman Jeff Hurd, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Garrett. Talk to you soon.